So, I'm now the CIO of the AccorHotels Arena, but prior to that position, I've been working in the media industry during 12 years at TV5 Monde, you know, the worldwide French-speaking television network, and a few other TV stations. Prior to that position, I've been working in the arts industry at Les Arts Décoratifs, a set of museums and library in the Louvre Palace. So it was my first job long time ago, and it was very interesting because mixing arts and technology was something new at that time, so a long time ago. So a few different jobs in different areas, but they are somehow similar. There were people coming to the museum, there were people looking at the website in TV stations. It's somehow the same with clients watching the screens, a different kind of screens, and in an arena we have people coming to the arena and also people watching the events at home. So it's somehow connected. The new AccorHotels Arena has been reopened last October, so 1 year and a few months. And the old building was opened back in 1984, so it was an old venue, very well known in Paris and all over the world, and we needed that renovation. The new configuration is now 1 year old. And the real official name was Palais Omnisport de Paris-Bercy, because it was built for sports, but not only for sports, for sports and events. So we can do a lot of different sports in the venue. We could do that before, but we still can do that. Our company has a license to operate the building, the Société Anonyme d'Exploitation du Palais Omnisport de Paris-Bercy. So it's the official name of our society. The building is owned by the city of Paris, and we have a license to operate the building for the next 35 years, 34 now. In the arena, there are more than 130 events per year, sports, concerts, family show, for example, the Cirque du Soleil. There will be 4 world championships in different sports this year. So a lot of different events, so a lot of different clients. But meanwhile, for the new business model, we wanted to increase the quality and increase the number of VIP rooms. So we moved from 18 to 54 VIP rooms all over the venue. And we also built a lot of meeting rooms in order to develop a new business for us, which is becoming a convention center somehow. Right. And also being able to rent this meeting room to different clients before or during events. Right. So it's going up in quality. But the capacity of the arena at its max, when there is a central stage, is around 20,000 people. And there are also different configurations. During the tennis tournament, which ended a few weeks ago, the capacity is around 14,000, maybe 500 more. And it depends on the size of the playground. Yeah. If there is a hockey game, for example, we need to remove some seats. If it's a central stage, we can add some seats. So right. the capacity varies. Dynamic. Yeah, it's dynamic. Yeah. And at its max, it's 20,000 people. This kind of capacity of 20,000 people compares with the O2 Arena in London. I think it's a bit more in London, but not that much. And Madison Square Garden, the Staples Center in LA. It's somehow a class of arenas with this kind of capacity. Yeah, my idea coming from the media industry was, of course, to be able to communicate with all our clients with all the different ways possible. The hung screen in the middle of the main bowl is still there. We decided to add a few LED rings in order to be able to push the messages for all the crowd, but also having a lot of screens in the concourse, in the meeting rooms, made it possible to push some message, but different message for different zones, because the client journeys are not the same. So we needed to be able to communicate differently in these different zones. And the third layer was, of course, to be able to communicate with our clients through their smartphone. So it's a one-to-one communication. So three levels, it's like a pyramid. You have common message, segmented or zoned messages, and one-to-one messages. Right. So for that, of course, we need a lot of technology, very good infrastructure, about network, about IPTV solutions, about connectivity. So a lot of technology, a lot of different technologies which had to be integrated all together. So from Avaya, we got the core network. Yeah. So two main core switches, VSP 9000, and all the switches which are all over the venue, the edge switches in stacks, in order to deliver all the content, so video, voice, data, of course, and sound as well. So we can transport the sound through the network from the core management system, the nodal, we call that a nodal in French, two different areas in the venue. And everything is done through the Avaya network. Right. So two VSP 9000 in the main control room, and more than 100 different switches all over the venue, all connected with two different paths. So fully redundant and a very high performance about communication, and we did it as well, a huge internet bandwidth coming to the venue for the Wi-Fi in the main ball. Yeah, the zoning and segmentation for the network for us, as we have different clients at the same time. Our guests, all the people who come to the arena, but also the promoter or the federation which organizes the event. So there are different clients, and there are also our proper needs, which are permanent. So there are different users, different kind of users, us or contractors. All the systems which are installed permanently, for example, are 400 screens. So for that, we need to have a network which is dedicated, a logical network which is dedicated to the TV sets. It's also about security and performance. So there are different zones, different configuration, and we change some of the configuration regularly between two events. Right. The network during the sports events and the concert, it's different. The use cases are different. The requirements for our clients are not the same, because during a sports event, major sports events, there are a lot of medias. There are more than 150 journalists in the media room, so they need to have a very good network in order to work. That's simple as that. Two different configurations, sports and concert. It's not the same. About sports, the promoter, the organizer, comes with, of course, its sports equipment, because there are some regulations by international federations, so they have to bring proper equipment in the venue. They bring all the material for training, for warming up, all the physiotherapists, and all these teams, and people and equipment. But during sports, they use our own equipment, lighting and lighting, power, sound. They use our own equipment. During concerts, it's totally different, because they are on tour. 2 days before coming to the arena in Paris, they might be before in London. So they have to uninstall everything and reinstall everything in our venue. So they cannot rely on our equipment. They have to be in total autonomy and install their stuff and only plug into our network, that's it. Some of the technology involved in scenography, lighting, sound, blah, 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 it's still a bit old-fashioned. Right. So, but it's changing, because the shows are getting more and more techy. Right. During the Muse concert, for example, last February, there were 10 drones, huge balloons with helium inside and small motors floating around the arena. But they were controlled by radio at, I think, 5.4 gigahertz, which were compatible with the Wi-Fi. So there are more and more technology involved, and yeah, maybe in the near future, all this tech, all this scenography equipment will become part of the IoT industry, but I think not yet. But we are on this way to be able to foresee what will happen in a few years about the media industry, about the IoT, about the connected stadiums, about the interactivity with the audience, and the new equipment that all the promoter could bring in. But we are ready for, I think, the next 5 or 10 years. The gaming industry is becoming something big, and they need not a lot of network. lot of power calculation and bandwidth. So we are ready for that. But we cannot think about everything that might happen in the IoT world. So the network is ready. We are ready to switch from IPv4 to IPv6, which is, I think, mandatory for the IoT. We have the performance, we have the reliability, the redundancy, and the connection with the internet. We are ready to upgrade if needed. So I think we are ready, but a lot of use cases are not ready yet, and I think the promoter are as well not early adopters. So they need to see if new technology, holographic, interactivity, augmented shows, they need to see if it brings money.
Yeah.
And it doesn't bring money yet, but it will.
Yeah.
It's somehow like all the tech. The new tech arrives. It doesn't make money, but in a few years it will, or it might. We don't know.